Hello, it's Ruby, and today I'm going to be telling you all of the books that I read in 2018. So this year I managed to read 97 books, which is less than I wanted. My aim was actually 118 books this year, but I just did not reach that goal. I read 97, which I'm pretty happy with, so it's okay. So I track all of the books that I read on Goodreads. My Goodreads account is literally just Ruby Granger, so you can easily find that if you search for it. And as always, it will be in the description box as well, along with all of my other social media. So if you have never seen my face before, hello, my name is Ruby. I am 18 years old and I'm currently studying at the University of Exeter doing philosophy and theology, and I am in first year. On Goodreads, you can set yourself a reading challenge, which is exactly what I did. And I have set my goal of 108 this year. I'm one book through, but I've nearly finished another two, so it says I'm on track. So it's a tradition for me to make this video. I've made it every year since 2015, so I did books I read in 2015, 16, 17 and now 18. So I will leave those linked in the description box too if you're interested in seeing the other books that I've read. So as always, at the end I will also be going through my top 5 books of this year. So the first book I read was Lost for Words by Stephanie Butland. It's a bit like Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. It really reminded me of that. Oh, I'm not going to run through every book. I just realised this will take forever. Okay, I'm going to go through listing now. So Lost for Words by Stephanie Butland, We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Perfect Anorexia and Me by Emily Halban, The Secret Scripture by Sebastian Barry, Every Day by David Levithan, Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braddon, Eating Disorders by Emma Scrivener, which I actually read twice, Secrets at Mallory Towers by Pamela Cox, Alice Miranda at School by Jacqueline Harvey, The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, which again I read twice, Is God Anti-Gay and Other Questions About Homosexuality, God Is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything by Christopher Hitchens, Blood, Sacrifice and Nation, Totem Rituals and the American Flag by Caroline Marvin, The Problems of Philosophy by Bertrand Russell, Why Be Happy When You Can Be Normal by Jeanette Winterson, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, The Stanislavski System, Growth and Methodology by Purvis Sawoski, A Letter to a Christian Nation by Sam Harris, Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery, Science and the Soul, Selected Writings of a Passionate Rationalist by Richard Dawkins, Interreligious Reading After Vatican II, Scriptural Reasoning by David Ford, Wonder by R.J. Palacio, one of my favourite books, it's my 4th time reading it, What Nobody Knew by Amelia Hendry, My Name is Victoria by Lucy Worsley, After the Fire by Will Hill, Reconstructing Amelia by Kimberly McWright, The Nicest Girl in the School by Angela Brazel, Dear Bully, 70 Authors Tell Their Stories by Megan Kelly Hall, The Princess of the School by Angela Brazel, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, The Secular Conscience, Why Belief Belongs in Public Life by Austin Dacey, Before by Veronica Roth, The Mystery of the Jeweled Moth by Catherine Woodfine, Small Spaces by Sarah Epstein, Modern Latin American Literature, a very short introduction by Roberto Gonzalez Echevarria, I think, History of Wolves by Emily Friedland, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie by Muriel Spark, Alcatraz Schoolgirl, a Memoir by Anna Thurman, Paper Towns by John Green, and those last 8 books were the books that I read in the readathon which I did in the summer, which I will again link down below if you're interested in watching that. It's actually one of my favourite videos I've ever made and I really want to do another one soon. 11 by Tom Rogers, More Than This by Patrick Ness, The Girl with All of the Gifts by M.R. Carey, Hugger Home, Cozy Danish Ideas for House Interiors, Why I Am No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Rennie Edo Lodge, The Lightning Thief by The Lightning Thief, I was going to say by Percy Jackson. No, The Lightning Thief by Rick, I can't say that, Riordan. Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Winter Girls by Laurie House Anderson. Paperweight by Meg Haston. Meditations on the First Philosophy. I think I ended up reading this book 3 times this year because I ended up studying it in one of my philosophy modules too, and that's by Rene Descartes. The Overachievers, The Secret Lives of Driven Kids by Alexandra Robbins, The Hobbit by J.R. Tolkien, A Stolen Life by J.C. Dugard, The Glass Castle by Jeanette Winterson, Second Star to the Right by Deborah Hortzig, Hugger, The Danish Secrets of Happiness, How to Be Happy by Maya Thorsen, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, Pax by Sarah Pennypacker, Meno by Plato, The Bible in the Modern World by David J.A. Kleins, The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, Plato and the Socratic Dialogues by Charles H. Kahn, Alice Miranda in New York by Jacqueline Harvey, People Like Us by Dana Mele, An Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding by David Hume, Heaven Beguiles the Tired, Death and the Poetry of Emily Dickinson by Thomas W. Ford, After Jonathan Edwards, The Course of the New England Theology by Oliver D. Crisp, The Book of Job, What is Postmodern Biblical Criticism by Andrew K. Adam, The Book of Job, a commentary by Norman C. Habel, Reading Emily Dickinson's Letters, Critical Essays by Jane Donahue Erbelwine, but she's the editor, of course. The Little Prince by Antoine, I can't speak French, I'm sorry. A Million Years in a Day, A Curious History of Daily Life by Greg Jenner, who I actually met. He is the coolest person ever. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, I actually read that book twice this year. God on Trial, The Book of Job and Human Suffering by Bill Thomason, The Highly Sensitive Person, How to Thrive When the World Overwhelms You by Elaine N. Aaron, The Spread of Christianity in the First 4 Centuries by William V. Harris, Enter Title Here by Rahul Kanakia, An Introduction to Womanist Biblical Interpretation by Nisha Jr., Pledged, The Secret Life of Sororities by Alexandra Robbins, Our Endless Summer Days by Claire Fuller, The Root-Led Guidebook to Descartes' Meditations on First Philosophy by Gary Hatfield, The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, and then I read a few Christmas picture books, which were The Night Before Christmas, 25 December Lane and The Polar Express, Hugger and Kisses by Clara Christenden, Alice Miranda at Camp, and Alice Miranda on Holiday, both by Jacqueline Harvey. And they're all of the books that I read in 2018. I thought I had a pretty good reading year. I really loved so many of these books, and I hope that you maybe look into reading some of these. If you want to have ratings and see some reviews, then please head over to my Goodreads. I try and post regularly, and I'm trying to post, I update you on every single book I read, but I'm trying to post more reviews this year. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. So the top 5 books I read were The Overachievers, The Secret Lives of Driven Kids by Alexandra Robbins, Anne of Green Gables, which I'd never actually read before, Alice Miranda. Just as a general series, I fell in love with the character, and even though it's aimed at a much younger audience, I love it, and I'm intending on reading every book in the series. Number 4, I really loved Winter Girls, even though if you have any sort of history with eating disorders, I do not recommend this book at all, because I think it could be slightly triggering. And number 5, Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race, which I found really enlightening, and I'm so glad to have read. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and have a productive week.